I tried. I did not bring a sleeping pad. I was really sad about that. All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my channel, Outside with Lonnie Shots. My name is Kalani. If you are new here, welcome. I'm so happy that you found me. And if you are returning, welcome back. I have been looking forward to recording this video. It's been on my mind since I returned from the backpacking trip with my dad. If you haven't watched that, check it out. I experimented or tried for the first time an ultralight setup. I tried. And when I say I tried, like I wrote down everything or most of all the things on the website Lighter Pack, and I figured out, okay, well, what can I leave at home? What can I decrease weight in order to get this pack, or at least the base weight, to under 10 pounds? And so the night before the backpacking trip, I was putting everything in the pack, and then I finally weighed it, and it was just over 10 pounds. It was 11 pounds. So I didn't meet the ultralight criteria as far as base weight, but I still wanted to talk about it because I tried. I failed, but that's okay because we try and we fail and we do again and we keep going until we get it right. So I wanted to talk about the main things or the main differences between my previous setups versus the new trying to get ultralight setup. When it comes to the big four, people call it the big three: backpack, tent, sleep system. I feel like I shaved a good amount of weight in that. What I would normally bring would be my Gossamer Gear backpack, the water bottle holder that I attach to the front of the pack. I also have a phone pouch holder. Both of those are from Chicken Tramper Gear. What I changed for this setup with that backpack is I still brought the backpack and I still brought the phone pouch. I did not bring the extra water bottle holder. With the tent, normally I would have my big Agnes 2-person Tiger Wall tent, but the poles broke on that. I don't know if you saw that in one of my videos previously. And so I now have the Durston X Mid 2. And so I was able to shave a good amount of weight on that. The biggest thing I feel like that changed with this backpacking trip was my sleep system. Normally, I would bring the Nemo Switchback, the full length foldable sleeping pad. And then on top of that, I would put my really big inflatable sleeping pad, along with my Enlightened Equipment 0-degree sleeping bag. For this trip, what I brought instead was my Nemo Switchback, but I cut it down to where it only went from like my head to like my torso, like right under my butt. It wasn't full length. And then I did not bring a sleeping pad, an inflatable one. So that was a big difference. And then I brought for my sleeping bag this super old sleeping bag that I got from Amazon. It's not very light weight, but it's lighter than my Enlightened Equipment one. And so I brought that. It's like a 50-degree, so it's not good for cold weather, but it was good for the temperatures that my dad and I were going to be on that weekend. In all, I was able to save 60.2 ounces, which equals out to 3.7 pounds from the big four, which I think is a great amount of weight savings. I just recently got an early birthday present, and it's a new Enlightened Equipment sleeping pad that's rated for a little bit warmer weather, but definitely decreases the weight in ounces. So I'm looking forward to opening that box and trying that out. And that'll give me even more weight savings in this area. So yay for the big four, 3.7 pounds lost. Let's talk about kitchen and hydration. Normally, when it comes to my kitchen setup, I had the Tokes pot, but I had a really big one, like a 900 milliliter one. My Sea to Summit spoon, I had the MSR stove. It's a really nice stove. It's just bigger and a little heavier. I always bring my 3-liter CNOC water bladder, 2 smart water bottles, and one of the like sport cap top ones that hold a little bit less water. What I changed with that is instead of bringing the larger Toke's pot, I brought a smaller one. And so I bought the 550 milliliters and was able to save some weight in that. I switched out my MSR stove for the BRS stove, which is like super light. And then what did I do? I didn't bring my coffee cup. I was really sad about that, but I saved weight on that. So all in all, with my kitchen setup, my kitchen and hydration setup, I was able to save 6.75 ounces. Moving right along. Let's talk about our electronics. Do I want to talk about electronics? I don't want to talk about electronics. Maybe we'll talk about that another day. So let's keep going. This next category is clothing that I either wore or carried with me. Normally, I bring a ton of things. At least looking back now, especially after reading all these ultralight books and things, I feel like I've brought a lot of clothing in the past. So what I would normally bring is my Belief rain jacket with my Columbia rain pants. I feel like both of those are good for cold weather rain, keep you warm and to keep you dry. I would normally bring my mid layer and my puffy jacket, a beanie and a buff. I would also bring my sun gloves and a pair of fleece gloves if it got colder. And I would also bring clothes to sleep in. So a sleep top, a sleep bottom, and camp shoes. With the ultralight setup, oh, this is what I changed to. Instead of bringing the rain top and bottom, I brought with me a rain poncho. It's one that I've gotten a long time ago. I actually wore it on the PCT for a short amount of time, and it has a little zipper where it opens up, so if you have a big backpack, it'll fit over your backpack and keep everything dry. So I brought that instead and was able to save some weight. I only brought my mid layer this time because the temperatures weren't going to get super, super low. So just the mid layer. I did not bring a beanie. I only brought my buff. And when it got cold at night, I was able to put my buff on my head to help with the warmth. And let's see. Instead of bringing fleece gloves, I brought my sun gloves and rain mitts. When I went on my Big Bend backpacking trip, when it got cold that night, I put the rain mitts on top of my fleece gloves, and it got my hands really warm. It wasn't supposed to get that cold on this backpacking trip. I brought the rain mitts just in case I needed to trap in that heat. Okay, enough about that. See, I still, hi buddy. They're so adorable. I still brought with me sleep socks and 2 pairs of socks to hike in, like to rotate. But I did not bring sleepwear. I know, right? I also did not bring camp shoes. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that one. I was able to save in total 24.12 ounces, which is well over a pound. So that was good. It was good for saving weight. Yay. Okay. I guess the last thing that I'll talk about is my poop kit. What I normally bring in my poop kit is my like Deuce of Spades trowel. Tinkerbell, it's so that I can stand up and pee instead of having to squat and pee. And cooler cloth, wipes, all the things. What I did differently for this one, for this trip, is instead of bringing a trowel with me, I used a tent stake instead. I used my tent stake to dig my cat hole. And then instead of bringing toilet paper, I used one of the ultralight tips of finding things on trail to use. I feel like that's a whole nother topic and maybe it can be a whole nother video. It was fun. It was interesting. It was different. Yes, I didn't bring my Tinkerbell. Yeah, I had to squat. Yeah, but I was able to save some weight, and so it wasn't that much weight. It was like 3 ounces that I was able to save. So all in all, I was able to get my pack weight down to 11 pounds, or at least my base weight down to 11 pounds, which I think is pretty incredible considering all the things that I used to bring. If you stayed this long, thank you so much for watching. If you've tried ultralight things, how has your experience been? What do you like and what don't you like? I'd love to learn. I'd love to know. And yeah, I will see you back here on another video. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Are you eating that? Huh?